By the right of the council, by the will of the Force, welcome back into another episode of Jedi Talk. Boba Fett, thank you, Evan, is done. We finished it out last week. We're excited for Kenobi, and we are bringing back our top 10 show, our favorite top 10 lists, and we've got a lot of good ones to explore. And I haven't talked to this about the gentleman yet, but I want to start talking about our top 100 moments. That we talked about a while ago, and like breaking the shows down where we do like 25 and 25 and 25 and 25.
Did we decide 100 as a collective group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 100 as a collective group.
So it would be
so we have to collaborate
shows of
on this.
33 each.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
And then one extra one,
Then
or
one
we could do
extra,
4 shows of 25.
We all get together and we go 425 would be fun.
Yeah.
But it'd be funny. Here's why I think
Don't make me
33
do
would be
math.
fun. Because we'd all have to agree that this moment is the Star Wars moment.
That's true.
Yeah, no. We
That would be fun.
So I've got ideas, but we'll save it because I got to introduce us all
Ooh,
if people are listening for the first time.
It's hard.
I am Tom Oakrey. Thank you so much for joining. To my immediate left is the individual who once dropped a donut and picked it up, and there was a hamburger in the middle of it. Evan T. Boucher. Evan, how the hell are you?
Hello there. That was a very Len Testa type of intro there. That's the type of thing he says. He's like, and introducing Jim Hill, the man that says, and he says some outlandish thing that's hilarious. That's what that was.
Really?
Well done.
Okay.
Well done.
I'm
I
glad
wish I
that
was that creative, but
I'm glad that I did that.
things are great. Got done with one of my vacations. You guys were awesome enough to join me for 2 of the nights there.
Thank you for inviting
We
us.
all
thank
cuddled
you.
in
That was
that queen-size bed, all 3 of us. It was
yeah,
awesome.
Sure. Yeah.
And then
Nice
In
I
your
little
dreams,
orgy.
sir.
Yeah, well, it was my dream. You're right. But I don't think I can sneak you guys on the halcyon for my next vacation that's coming up. But if I could, I would.
All right, that works. Introducing our other co-host, directly across from me. He just got back from a trip in Kokomo. They actually took him right there. Co-host Brad Hughes. Brad, how the fuck are you?
Kokomo was beautiful this time of year. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
It was
Go to your agent right now. Book.
perfect. It was great.
In Kokomo.
What's up? I'm excited to do this. It's the first time we've done a top 10 list in a while.
Yeah.
I almost
And
forgot how to do this.
I did too
Yeah.
because this one took me a few minutes to come up with, but I think I got it. I think I'm ready to rock and roll.
This was my brainchild. I said, since Book of Boba Fett just wrapped up, let's do our top 10 moments from the Mandoverse. We call it the Mandoverse. That includes Season 1, Season 2 of The Mandalorian, and then, of course, Book of Boba Fett. And then we can revisit when Ahsoka, plays. Hi, Winston. He's under the
He's
table.
so sweet.
Where is he going?
My
Good
dog's
boy.
a fucking spaz.
Duncan's adorable. You have one great dog and one spaz.
One psycho. Jack's a crazy man.
He's a puppy.
He's 4 months old. I mean, it's what it is.
Anyone have any?
I have a tough. You ready for a tough question?
Sure.
If you could only have one of these 2 things, you have to pick one. You either get the Mandoverse, or it goes away to not being canon, or the Snyderverse and it goes away from not being canon. Which one do you pick?
Mando.
You keep
Take
Mando or
that,
you lose Mando?
fucking
What are you
his name?
saying?
Zack
No,
Snyder?
I would. No. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was confused.
I would lose Mando.
Lose
Oh,
Mando.
you did it the opposite.
That's what I thought
take
he
the
meant.
Snyderverse.
That's what I thought he meant.
You would pick
Yes.
Snyderverse over
Yes.
Luke training Grogu?
Yes.
You
yes.
piece of shit.
He trained Grogu for like 3 days.
And it's this close. I'm telling
Luke
you.
got trained for 3 days on
That's true.
Dagobah.
That's
It's
true.
this fucking.
Oh, he got
close.
jacked really quick.
He did. Lifting rocks, bro.
I don't want you to think that I'm no big ass Star Wars fan. There's Star Wars movies I like better than
You're on
some
a Star
DC
Wars
movies.
podcast. We know you. We all know.
I
Come
know
on.
that, but DC's my like first comic lore, right?
Get it.
Batman is up there, man. I fucking loved what Zack Snyder did with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, The
You
Flash,
love it
and Aquaman.
more than Mandalorian Season 1, Season 2, and Book of Boba Fett.
Tiniest bit. Yep.
Damn. I thought you were going to pick Mando. I really did. That's why I got excited. I was
I
going to trash you for not picking Snyderverse. And then you did. And
I don't think
I had to pivot.
you could come up with a question like that
Pivot.
for me because I don't know there's
MCU
nothing.
or Star Wars?
Star Wars. Just
Yeah, okay,
keep
so
you
that's
no
not
question.
even close.
No
Yeah,
question.
me
Yeah.
too.
The only thing you could maybe is be like something Disney. You're like lose Haunted Mansion. I'd be like
You
"Ugh."
get no Magic Kingdom or you get Star Wars.
oh
that's a good
lose
one.
Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
We have Disney. If you said Disneyland,
You lose Disneyland or you get Star Wars.
Nope.
keep Disneyland.
Fuck Star Wars and
keep,
that.
yeah, keep Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Yeah.
That's a
Really?
treasure.
Yeah,
That's
keep
a
Disneyland.
treasure.
But
Yep.
it's on the other side of the country.
So
A big wave comes up and
Hey, I moved
smashes
here.
out of Anaheim.
I moved here. I can
I
move
know.
there.
I know. You moved here.
Yeah.
And you get Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, but that's the discount ginger version.
Ah, Kyle. Another joke at the expense of Kyle.
All right, let's get into this fucking list,
Yeah,
guys,
let's
because
start
I
it.
got some burgers to make. Let's do
Anyone
this.
got any honorable mentions?
Nope.
I do have one.
Okay.
Go for it.
I
And
have
you're
one
the first.
because I didn't want to. I don't know where to add this, but we just got it in the Book of Boba Fett. But when Din ignites his lightsaber, and after that, he chops the Browns mascot in half. So right through the middle on that table. That was just fucking cool to
That
see.
was so dope.
That was just cool to see. So, do you want me to start?
Yeah, go
I'll
for
say one honorable mention for me, I
Oh,
guess.
you do have
'Cause,
an
like,
honorable mention.
I just thought of it.
Fantastic.
Because, like, I can't go an episode, not counting last episode, I guess, without mentioning an RX droid. Well, I did mention one last episode.
You did.
So all the RX love we're getting in Book of Boba Fett and Mando. I guess it was only Book of Boba Fett. We got 3 RX droids.
Yeah, it was only
so-
Boba
Jesus
Fett.
Christ, Evan.
Loved
Put
it.
it back in your pants. What is this, an episode of Euphoria?
Yep.
Okay.
You don't even know what that means.
Yes, I do. I do now.
Oh,
It's
I don't
full
know
of
what it
dicks.
means. I've never seen Euphoria either.
It's so good.
That's my honorable mention, though. Live action RX.
There
Fair.
you go. There you go. All right. I will start number 10. It's the first actual action we saw from the Mandalorian. The bar fight when he picks up the mithril.
The Navarro bar fight?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Navarro bar fight. Like, holy shit. Like, we got... this was what people thought Boba Fett was
Yeah.
in this scene.
Yep.
He murks everybody up there. He does it effortlessly. And then when he chops the guy in fucking half, you're like, whoa, this is Star Wars? I'm in. Evan, what's your 10?
My number 10 is kind of it's what kicked it all off. Season 1, Chapter 1 of Mando, where we get the reveal at the end that it's this tiny little green Baby
Okay.
Yoda thing.
Yeah.
Because Brad and I watched the episode together. We were like, 50 years old, this bounty he's going after? Is it like Luke? Because that's around the age Luke is.
That's what we thought.
We were like, who's he
we
going
thought
after?
He was going after
And at
Luke.
the time, we're like, nah, that's too far-fetched. But looking back, it's like, that could have
Could've
happened.
been.
Anything can
Could've
happen
been.
in this freaking show. But
I just
finding at the end, it's like, it's this little baby thing? Like, what's going on
I'm
with
not
this?
going to go too into this because this could be a whole episode of itself. But I'm so curious what like the ramifications of Grogu are. It's got to be.
We're going to
vast.
know. Yeah.
It's gotta be vast.
And I don't want to speculate. So, Brad, what's your 10?
My number 10 is the last scene from Mandalorian Season 1 where Moff Gideon breaks out the Darksaber.
Ooh.
That changed everything for me with that
yeah,
show.
it's on my list.
That changed everything
That'll
for
be
me
on
with the
mine,
show.
yeah.
I was
I'll
like,
get there, yeah.
okay, we're in some serious shit now because I was like, oh, the real life Darksaber, and that was just like a turning point for me.
Yep.
That was the first Leo DiCaprio point of many.
Hey,
That's the first of many we get in
Yep.
this 3-season thing of Mandoverse.
so that was just
Yeah.
unreal.
That's awesome. All right. My number 9 also involves one Moff Gideon. And this might be, even though I've ranked something higher, this might be like my all-time favorite Moff Gideon moment when they're standing outside that cantina. They're like, it's kind of run down. That's where he
Yes.
meets. That's where he goes in to see Grief Karga, and it's
Yes.
Cara Dune, Grief Karga, the IG droid, and Mando. They're in there, and then Moff Gideon makes his demands to them from like the outside, and it's like, you know how he talks, and he's just like, you have something that I want.
His enunciation.
Yeah,
his
his
facial
enunciation.
expression the whole time,
Did
too.
you ever watch Breaking Bad? I know you did.
I still haven't.
I've seen the episodes he's in. He's the owner of that, or the general manager of the.
He's like he's a
Yeah. He's
this
good.
show is
He
so
was-
good.
I've got to go play Far Cry 6 because of him.
Yeah,
So
That
I love the marketing for that game.
Oh,
it's
it's
just
so good,
It's
yeah.
just him talking to you, like, I'm evil. Come fight against
Pretty
me,
much,
or
yeah.
whatever. And I'm like, yeah.
all right, what's your number 9, Evan Boucher?
My number 9 is a little out of left field, I think. But
I'm a piece of shit.
No, I
Yeah,
said
I think
I
so.
said Evan
No.
Boucher.
Oh,
Oh,
I thought you said Evan, you piece of shit.
No, Freudian slip over there. I mean,
maybe.
I thought that's what he said. I mean, that's what we would say to each other.
Yeah, it's true. But, my number 9 is the N1 Starfighter that is now Din's new ship in Book of Boba
That's a
Fett.
good one.
Because that was just like, I don't want to say just like justification of the prequels, but just like, oh yeah, the prequels exist. Like, there's still things around from that universe. Mado has pit droids. They're on Tatooine, and seeing an N1 Starfighter and like seeing all the love Peli's like just spewing for this ship.
Yep.
And Din's like, it's a piece. I don't want this. It's garbage. And she's like, you don't get it. The ship is blah 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 blah.
fucking dick.
And that's when we're just like right hitting the feels with that.
The
Yeah.
Queen of Naboo commissioned these ships.
Yeah, and like I said in the book or the Boba Fett when this dropped, it was the first ship I saw with my own eyes in real life scale. They had a touring museum thing that traveled the country, and it stopped in Indianapolis when I was a kid in '99 when the Phantom
I
Menace
don't know
came
this
out.
story.
and they had a full-scale N1 starfighter in the middle of this museum.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
So, like, yeah, I've seen the Falcon and X-Wing and A-Wing now, but the first thing I ever saw was an N1 starfighter.
See, for me, my first thing I ever saw to full scale was a TIE fighter at Celebration.
That's
Nice.
They
pretty
had a
sick.
full-on,
That's pretty
full-scale
sick.
one.
Now, I can't count the AT-AT at Star Tours because it's not full scale.
It's
But
not quite
I did
full
see
scale.
that first, but it's not full scale.
It's not full scale. The
Yeah.
ones inside Rise are full scale.
Yeah, those
Yep.
are
That's
full
different. My number 9
Nine.
is Grogu embracing Mando in the Book of Boba Fett. And I'm specifically talking about, this is stuck out for me. This is the thing I think of when I think of the finale now, where he like jumps up and grabs him and like touches his face. It's
Yeah.
precious.
It is.
Yep.
It's great.
It's absolutely adorable. He's embracing him. He missed him. You can tell, like, even though he can't talk, you can tell there was like affection there. And then he missed him, and it wasn't just Mando like overthinking, like, this kid likes me.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Well,
And
I
loved it.
He made that choice.
Yeah,
You know, and
he made the choice to come back to him.
Yep.
yeah.
So it's that's like the culmination of their story right now. It's the separation, the reuniting, and then
Right.
like
The
reuniting
acceptance.
during this shit, and like him, using his jetpack to catch him when he gets in the
right.
accident,
Thinking
all that
quick,
stuff.
yeah.
I loved it. I just thought it was perfect.
Thinking quick. My number 8 is the end of Book of Bob Fett, episode 4, when the Mando theme hits. My
True.
God.
That feeling, you're like,
And
next
that-
week's gonna be lit.
I was into like, oh, that was a good one. So the first part of the episode, I was, and we had talked about it. I was we started, meh, and then it just got progressively better. But that was just like a, wow, okay, like what a hang. So we're gonna get Din Djarin back. So good shit.
I was even going like, they're just teasing it to tease it. Like
Yeah,
they're just
but
kind
we
of
all
he
do.
might show up for a second, and then you get 2 full episodes
Right.
of him being a gangster.
Gangsta.
So dope.
His helmet's right over there. Right,
it's the best.
right behind Evan. Let's go, you
Shiny
piece of
chrome
shit.
dome. There it is. He said it this time. My number 8 is Grogu's choice. I mean, essentially what Brad was saying with the reuniting, but that like cliffhanger of the choice we all assumed he was going to make, but still it's like, maybe not. Like with 99% sure he was going to choose Mando. But that anything could happen in this show. So we're like, there's still a chance he might not.
He also
But-
has the lightsaber. I'm just telling you. I know he does.
Oh, it's in his back pocket.
yeah, he's got
Oh, he stole it when Luke wasn't
it.
looking.
No, I think they worked something out.
Maybe. That'd be kind of cool if that just came out
I
in
don't
Mando
think-
3.
I don't think he has it right now. But
Okay.
I think you're right.
That's
I
fair.
think him and Ahsoka, Mando and Ahsoka team back up for something, and Grogu's there, and I think you get a reuniting
What
of
if-
those 3 there, and
what-
then they go back, and he's like, here's Yoda's lightsaber for protection. I think that.
Ahsoka could always train Grogu. She could give in because she's seen him with Luke in her series.
But now doesn't he doesn't want it, though.
Right. But maybe he
So-
needs to do it. Maybe something
Maybe
happens
he does
to
it
Din.
for protection.
Yeah, or that. Yeah.
See, that's
If
what
something
kind of
happens
is.
to Din, and he can like barely force revive him.
Yeah.
And he tries to go. He wants to go back to Luke to learn how to do it, so he can protect Din. Like that.
That's what's
There's
kind of.
so many possibilities with this.
Yeah.
Din gets caught by Inquisitors that are still remnants of
Ooh.
around. So Grogu goes to, like, let's say she goes to Ahsoka, and they speak to each other, and he's like, I need you to train me on how to wield a fucking lightsaber. You don't even have one. And then he just takes it out.
He does the same thing Yoda does. He like reveals it with one hand and then Force pulls the lightsaber
Yeah.
from his belt.
Yeah.
Just like Yoda. That'd be cool.
Yeah, something along those lines. But
Yeah.
we're getting off on a tangent. Brad, what's your
Always.
number 8?
My number 8.
Oh, wait.
is
You said it, didn't you? The Embrace?
No, that was
no, that was 9.
that was
Okay.
his 9 and kind of my 8.
Okay. What's your 8?
My number 8 is Mando revealing himself in Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, in the slaughterhouse.
Oh, yeah.
The slaughterhouse
That
scene.
the-
scene you brought
The
up. Was that
silhouette.
Who said that?
Yeah. I
You
said
did.
him chopping
him down.
chopping the Cleveland
That
Browns
was
mask.
so fucking cool.
Yeah. Oh my
and like,
god. Yeah.
Because we were all like, oh, does he show up, or like how are they going to introduce him into
Yeah.
the show? And then
Kick off right from the start.
and it's just
Yeah.
a fucking
And
Martin
then
Scorsese movie.
what I loved about that was like,
I don't
all right,
know, but I'll
is
let
this
you know when I see him. And he's like, okay, cool.
is this a
Look at
pass-
this, she did.
is this
He's
a
like,
pass
that's not
scene?
me. Yeah.
like, is this a past scene we don't know about him? But then as soon as he ignites the dark
Dark
saber, I'm
saber,
like,
you're like,
oh, I
oh,
know
yeah,
where
it
we're at.
puts you in
Yeah.
that
Not a
timeline.
flashback,
Yeah,
yeah.
it puts you right in that timeline. That's genius how they did that so many times in this show. They put you in a timeline without being like, hey, 5 years ago the Empire fell. What are you doing? They don't have to say it.
Can I just say, look at that fucking ice sphere. I
Looks
carved
good.
that shit.
Looks good.
Why don't you?
I carved this by hand.
you
Isn't
go-
that beautiful?
You go put it in the freezer already. Fuck.
For real, isn't that pretty though?
You better keep it. You better
I have
keep it.
plenty,
It's
I have
melting.
plenty of them. I have plenty
It's
of 'em.
melting. My number
Your
7.
Boy's an artist.
My number 7. Cobb Vanth. When Cad Bane walks up to Cobb Vanth.
He didn't make my list. I wish he would.
When Cad Bane just walks through the desert, that whole scene, and we've talked about it at length, but when Cobb looks at him, tells everybody to go in, and then when everybody knows it's Cad Bane, you're just shitting yourself. It's just, goosebumps and just a very awesome.
I'm mad that I didn't
scene.
make my list, but it should have. If I was gonna do an honorable mention, it would have been that one. There's
yeah.
just other moments where I go like, it might not be like an overarching Star Wars moment, but there's moments where I was like, that's the shit. And
Yeah.
like when I was doing, I did this list. I was just thinking of the things that made me think about those 3 shows, and the first things that fired off is what I
Go
put
for it.
down. But that one's close because you guys know I love Cobb Vanth.
Hell yeah.
Evan?
Who doesn't?
Evan, what's your number 7?
My number 7 has been said. You said it already. When Gideon's got them all posted up in that
Oh,
bar,
fuck yeah.
just with his battalion of 501st members, which is cool.
Yeah.
But then the
Yeah.
Death Troopers being there, seeing a TIE fighter land like that, the special Outlander, Outlander TIE fighter, like that's pretty sick. And just that's the first time we've seen him. We didn't know there was a bigger bad in Mando. We thought it was the client, right? What's that actor's name?
Client, Werner Herzog.
Yeah, we thought like Herzog was the main villain, but then he gets murked at the end of season 1, and we're like, oh, there's somebody
forgot
else.
That.
Yeah.
I messaged you the other day. I was like, is he still alive?
He's in that
No.
the bar we're
The bar,
talking
they
about.
mow him down.
Because Moff eventually talks to him first.
Oh, he calls him on the holonet, and then
exactly.
as he's
I don't
talking to him on the
remember
phone,
getting
he
killed.
shoots him.
He shoots him. Yeah.
I need to rewatch.
Yeah, they mow
Mando.
down that bar, and everyone inside it except Cara Dune, Greef Karga, and Mando.
Because they like escape that like little
They go
tunnel
through the
thing.
tunnels
Yeah.
to find the
Yeah.
other
remember
Mandos.
that.
After
I don't
IG
remember him
heals
getting
him.
murked down.
Yeah,
Because remember, he doesn't want to take his helmet off. And,
and
this is the first
IG's
time
like,
he
I am
reveals
not
the helmet.
alive. You can
Yeah,
show
he's
me
like,
your face.
I'm not a human. You can
Yeah.
take your helmet off in front of me.
Yeah. But just
I
that whole
rewatched-
scene, that just like we didn't know there was another villain, but then like getting one that's that badass, and that's when I loved Moff Gideon from that point on, and I just wanted more, and we eventually got more. We eventually got what I wanted, but the reveal of him was awesome.
What's your number 7, Brad?
Number 7 is the reveal of the N1 Starfighter.
Fuck yeah.
Could not make my list.
Hell yeah.
I have such an attachment to the N1 Starfighters. I remember when we did our vehicles list, I was so pissed I didn't think to put this one on my list because as a kid who played Rogue Squadron a lot, that was a cheat code you could get, and this was like a year or two before Episode 1 even came out. They had the N1 Starfighter in there as a playable vehicle,
Yeah.
and it was like you unlocked it, and I love the look of it. It just looks like, even when I get on Star Tours and I get like the whole Naboo scene, I love it.
That's like the most common scene. I feel like. I feel
think
like
so,
you
too.
always get that.
Yeah,
It doesn't
that one or
matter.
the
It's
pod
like you
racing one.
always get those two.
I always get the pod racing one
yeah.
too.
I mean,
But-
you love the pod racing, so
I'm not gonna
so it
complain
works
about
out.
the pod racing.
Yeah,
scene.
not gonna complain.
But it was just a cool moment, especially with how they changed the look of it so much
Yeah.
that it almost doesn't look like that. But you
Right.
get the hints of yellow. It just
Yeah, it's
It's
it
like a
was-
hot
it
rod
was
right
so
now.
fucking
Like
cool.
it's beautiful now.
It's like what Robert Pattinson did with the fucking Batmobile.
Batmobile.
Yeah,
Yep.
kinda. I have the original one they put out with from Phantom Menace with the Legos, but now they're doing a Mando version of that one Lego. You guys don't care about Legos, but I'm buying it the day it comes out.
Legos just make me mad because they get all the cool shit first.
They do.
They do. Sometimes they spoil
they
things.
come
hey,
out
look, a
fast.
blocky version of that thing I like.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you rather have a HasLab project of the N1 Starfighter or a Lego?
Lego.
Really?
Yeah, because then I can make it my own.
He's a Lego guy, yeah.
I hardly ever follow the instructions beat for beat. I always tweak it a little bit and make it my own. You can't do that with HasLab. It's just what it is.
I want a HasLab. I'm so mad I didn't do the Razor Crest. It was before I started like collecting for real.
R.I.P. Razor Crest.
God.
It dead. But my number 6 ain't
$900 they're
dead.
going for now. It's insane.
My number 6 ain't dead. And my number 6 was mentioned already, I believe by you, Brad, but the Moff Gideon Darksaber reveal. When you think he's dead, you kind of have a sneaky suspicion he'd be alive, but you didn't know how he'd get out of that TIE fighter. And oh boy, did he ever. So this is, I hate to admit this as a Star Wars fan, but that was the first time I saw the Darksaber. Like, I found out about the Darksaber.
Really? Watching this?
Well,
Don't be ashamed of that. Like
Don't
that's
know.
the point of the show. It's
Don't
a
forget-
great.
No.
Like-
But I thought you liked Rebels like when it came out. You were
No.
watching
I watched Rebels after the fact.
Okay.
That was the first time I saw it. Remember, I came into Star Wars a lot later than everybody else. So The Mandalorian Season 1 was kind of like the next extension for me outside of the main films because I hadn't watched any of Clone Wars or Rebels yet.
See, I thought you like once you got into it, like you watch The Force Awakens, and you're like, I gotta watch everything.
No, it wasn't quite that.
Interesting.
A-
Okay.
Actually, it wasn't like that after Force Awakens. I saw Rogue One in theaters. We saw Solo. We saw The Last Jedi, and obviously, The Rise of Skywalker was the first like Star Wars movie release that I was like a super fan for.
Nuts.
Yeah.
That's wild. I thought you watched like that when it was like out. That's
No.
nuts to me.
I did after the fact.
I remember
I did a
watching-
lot of cramming.
I remember watching season 1 of Rebels when like Bentley was a baby.
Yeah.
It's
2015, right?
Yeah.
2016, something
He's
like
like
that.
2 or 3, like barely old enough to even like
Yeah.
watch TV. I'm like, let's watch this.
Yeah. No, that's good.
That's nuts.
Evan, what's your six?
That's so wild. That's so nuts to me.
Yeah.
No shame. I just was like,
No, yeah.
in
I
my
knew
head,
you weren't
like,
shaming him.
in my head, you were like, oh, The Force Awakens. Fuck yeah, I'm watching everything.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But that's what's great about all of Star Wars, but especially Mando,
Yeah,
is like its
everything has
entry.
their entry point.
Like you already were into Star Wars, you had an
Yeah.
entry point,
Yeah.
but that was your point of like, oh, I got to do a deep dive.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure
So
was, yeah.
that's what's awesome
Everybody's
about.
got their own Star Wars entry, like
Yeah.
point of entry.
Yeah.
What's
For
your number
me,
6?
My number 6 is. It's kind of tough to put it at one point in time, but I guess the first reveal of Cobb Vanth when he's got the armor on, because that was like, we should have known with this Darksaber moment. That should have been the okay, anything's possible. But we've said it a few times that the Cobb Vanth thing is when it's like, oh, they're gonna do whatever they want with the show, as nerdy as it can be.
Obscure character.
Yeah, from a terrible book.
He's
like we don't even like that.
throwaway chapter in a book that no one and I'm
No.
the book guy for. I was for a long time. I'm not
Yeah.
the book guy now.
You're
Was
pretty
he a
up there.
Legends character?
No,
No, he was
he was-
brand
he was
new
in-
just
he
for
was in
Chuck Wendig.
Aftermath.
Chuck
Chuck
Wendig's
Wendig's
Aftermath.
Aftermath.
Funny.
Which is
book
my
1.
Yeah.
And he was like it was like not an epilogue, but it was like
It was a
halfway through
I
the
forget
book.
what
they
the
do
interlude.
like
An interlude. He does
And
it.
it's just
It's
the
there's
Sheriff
like 4 or
Cobb
5
Vanth
of them
has
in there
found
out of
this
nowhere.
armor,
Yeah.
and it's just a throwaway mention.
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
And
But
that's
they made-
that's why I like the character so much because like
Yeah.
it's one of the times where
Yeah.
as someone who read the books and like put the time in to read all this shit
Yeah.
and have it pay off.
That's fair.
That's why I love Cobb Vanth so much. Because
Yeah.
like he's not the greatest character
I
in Star
read
Wars,
this book,
but it's just
sadly.
cool as shit.
Yeah. Sadly, I read this book because it's my 10th out of my 10th books I've read. It's number 10 for me. But
It's
I
not
read
good.
it about a year before Mando came out, so he was still fresh in my mind.
Okay, that's cool.
And I was like,
read
oh, I
Aftermath
just read this.
the
Anything
day it
can happen.
came out. I
Oh,
bought
wow.
it as an audiobook the day it came out.
Good.
Man. But
Was
that was
not
just cool
good.
though, and perfect cast too. Like I had never really heard of Timothy Olyphant. I'm not a huge movie guy outside of like Disney, Star Wars.
I was
So
blown away. when
if
he
you're
was
not
cast
already
that.
in Disney or Star Wars, I really don't know you as an actor.
That's all right. I
So-
knew him from The Office before that. So
okay,
that's-
I've never
that's
seen The
about it.
Office, so but I was just like perfect casting.
You've never watched the hang on.
No,
I don't like The Office, but that is 100% your humor.
really.
Yeah.
I'll watch it at some point.
It's 100% your humor.
I'll probably like
You
it.
would
'cause
love
I
it.
like Parks and Rec.
It sucks.
Oh,
I like,
yeah.
I like
You would love
Community.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it's-
yeah,
that's
man.
what I'm saying.
Give it a
It's his
chance.
humor.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
being shitty.
I'm
'cause I
not.
don't like
I'm
The
not
Office.
saying I've
I'm
never
joking
watched it
around.
because I
Season-
don't want to. I
It's
just
100%
never
your
watched it.
Season 1 to some people could be slow. Just give it a chance. I promise. It like picks up running in season 2
You
and
will
3.
like
yeah.
The Office.
Okay.
100%.
I'll get into it. I'll watch
It's
it.
not for me, but you'll like it.
You don't like Seinfeld. I don't care.
Carrie.
What's the deal with Cobb Vanth?
All right, what's your number 6? You
My
Jew
number
hater.
6 is, I mean, that's only part of the reason why I don't like Seinfeld. Number 6, episode
We're gonna get kicked off
3,
of YouTube
season
again.
1 fight scene. So season 1, episode 3 of The Mandalorian, when he goes back for Grogu.
Oh yeah. Oh, is this when the Mandalorians?
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
the rest of the children
That
of the
whole like
watch come.
second half of the scene where he actually decides to go back
So
and
good.
rescues him is the shit. Gives me Dark Knight vibes, Batman Begins vibes. I've said that since
And as
day
much
one.
as even now we've
Love
seen
it.
Paz Vizsla really not like Mando, Paz Vizsla helped out Mando.
He did.
So hey, this is the
it's-
way.
It's just such a good. That whole second half of that episode is just absolutely perfect. All right, number 5, Tom.
Number 5 is we're going to Tython. The first time Mando runs into Ahsoka, they fight, and after Din finds Ahsoka, they fight, and he basically calls out to her. He's like, "Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan sent me," and then they stop. They stop fighting, and then he basically is like, "I need to talk to you." And my favorite part about the scene is, I hope it's about him.
Yeah, Rosario's
first word,
spot on
yeah.
Ahsoka.
With the first word we see, or the first we hear of Ahsoka in live action. So.
Well, no, she spoke to the people in the town first. She
Oh,
spoke
duh,
to.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
My bad.
That's okay.
But again, I still love this moment because you
That's why it
know
was
how
called
much she
Tython?
knows. Tython.
I
planet's the shit.
always get them
It's such a
confused.
cool-
Is the rock that we get the Rock Planet, not the Rock Planet, but the Robert Rodriguez Boba Fett episode with the Seeing Stone. Is that Tython or
No.
is the planet
Go
that Ahsoka's on
to-
Tython?
Ahsoka's on Tython.
You're
Take
right.
him
You're-
to
you're
fuck.
right. You're
I'm
100%
always
right.
getting confused, so I forget
It's not
what
the same planet.
Okay, I forget. I know
Because-
it's not the same.
Because
I
Tython's
forget-
like a just like an oil rigged like shell
Right,
of
right.
itself. Like the Empire fucked it up.
Yeah, I just forget the name of the other one with the Seeing Stone, and I always get them confused. So I knew they weren't the same.
I don't know the name
just-
of the
I could see the scene. She tells him right in front of the Razor Crest.
Yeah,
Take
go
him
to
to
the
blah,
planet
blah,
something.
Put him on
the
the
Seeing
scene. Yeah,
Stone.
whatever.
Yeah.
What's your number 5?
Number 5 is just the stranger coming from the desert.
Fuck
Just
yeah.
that silhouette coming. That's one of the 50 points, nerdy points you have in this whole series. But that was just like Corey Burton's back as him. It looks great in live action. We haven't seen a live action Duros since A New Hope, I believe. So just seeing one again was cool. But having it be the guy, the Duros, was awesome.
We had a live action Duros in A New Hope.
Yeah, there's 2 of them in the cantina.
Okay.
They're just like one of those establishing shots.
What's a Duros?
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane.
The
Oh,
blue
yeah,
aliens.
yep.
Yeah. There's 2 of them, and just like
I'll have to pay
a-
attention next time I watch
a
it.
half a second establishing shot where they show a bunch of random aliens. There's 2 of them, and they're like,
There's
they like
There's
talking to each
Immune,
other.
and there's also a. What is the dude from
There's a Devorian.
Devorian?
Yeah.
Yep.
The devil guy.
DeLorean Devorian.
Yeah. But
My number 5
Yeah, what's your number 5?
is the original Grogu reveal.
Beautiful. Good one.
Because that one for me was just like we said before, like, holy shit, okay, this is something I just wasn't expecting. Like, when you watch the trailers for Mando, you don't go like, oh, this is the story of a guy who falls in love with Yoda's son. It's not Yoda's son, but like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not what you're thinking of when
you don't
see
think it's going to be
Mando.
a cute Muppet.
No, like definitely
Like,
not.
No, you think it's going to be all
And
about
that's why
killing
it's
people.
so interesting because it was just so far out of left field for me. Of like, that's what this is.
Yeah, that was.
gonna
I mean, everybody knows who Yoda is, so that was a crazy like ending to that first episode. Like, wow, what are they going to do with this?
Yeah.
Nuts. All right, my number 4. We're on 4 already. Okay. Cara Dune, Fennec Shand, Bo-Katan, and Kotzka Reeves messed the fuck up out of some stormtroopers, and they didn't make a big deal about it
Yes.
because Endgame made
That's
a
what I was
real
about
big
to say.
fucking deal.
That scene is such a miss.
It made you clap in the fucking theater, but you got these 4 badass women do the same goddamn thing.
Mm-hmm.
They storm through that is it a
The
Star
cruiser.
Destroyer?
No, he's
it's
just on a
cruiser.
light cruiser.
Yeah, he's on a light
Yeah.
cruiser. They blast all the stormtroopers all around, and then basically make the distraction for Din to sneak out and try to go save Grogu.
See, that
Such
works.
a great scene.
That works where Endgame fails because, like, that just how the strategy of those characters were. It was like, hey, you go over here, we go over here. It wasn't, don't worry, she's not alone. And it's like 50 women. It's like, what are the odds that all of you would be in the same exact spot right now? And
Fuck women, bro.
yeah,
That's what I'm
but-
saying.
Yeah, totally. No. But it just works in some scenes, and other scenes it's derived. So,
Fuck Captain Marvel.
hey, no.
And how the hell did Pepper all of a sudden like know how to use the suit? I mean, I get
That's
it,
a-
you're married
that's
to
a good
Tony Stark,
question.
but
Yeah.
I
whatever.
love Captain Marvel
Yeah.
so much.
Who doesn't
I
love
love
Captain
that
Marvel?
movie.
Well,
I
people
loved
don't.
it.
I love Captain Marvel.
I know. Tom hates it.
Have fun with her and is it Kamala Khan? Is that her name?
Kamala Khan? That sounds like a convention about Kamala Harris.
No.
Sounds like a
Kamala
Power Ranger
Khan,
visit.
2022.
Power Rangers
Evan,
villain.
You don't know who this is?
No.
What's the God damn
I
it?
feel like they've tapped all of my Marvel knowledge, and I'm just so I don't know what's happening anymore.
What's her name? Is it Mrs.
I've stopped caring because it's like
Are you
I'm
excited about Moon Knight?
kind of that one I'm excited for because
Yeah,
it doesn't
because it looks
feel
like
like it.
Batman.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like the rest of the MCU in a good way because we're kind of dying, in my opinion, with the MCU.
The time travel thing is just such a clusterfuck.
Yeah,
That's what we said.
that
That's
opened the
what we
door
said
to
from-
we're falling downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was right. Her name's Kamala Khan, but I can't find her fucking. Oh, she's Miss Marvel. That's right.
Oh, okay.
So the Captain Marvel follow-up is going to be. She's in it already. I've seen like,
I think-
not backstage pictures.
I
but
think
like,
Brie Larson just posted a picture today about like something about the movie. So
I
yeah,
want her in Star Wars, man.
me too.
She gets a bad rap.
She can stay the fuck
I
away
don't
from
know
Star
why
Wars.
you don't like her.
I remember.
I think
her
she's a
cat-
pretentious bitch.
I
remember.
completely. She has a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I don't care.
She's one of the few actors who's like it doesn't take herself seriously at all. I think you've seen like some bad clickbaity headlines.
I haven't. she
No, Yeah.
No, she rubbed me the wrong way in,
By
an
what?
interview
What'd she say?
with Chris Hemsworth. She basically made it out to be he called her, like, you're the next something. Like, you're the next big, and he said somebody's name. And then she was like, nope, I want to be the first so-and-so. Like, I don't want to be the next. Like, he was giving her a compliment, and she, like, took offense to it. I'll find it.
That's
I'll send
something-
it
Did
to
you read it or did you watch it?
I watched it.
But also,
Okay.
that's something
that would give you a different tone.
that's also something like Kobe Bryant would say, though. And who doesn't love Kobe Bryant? Like
I'm glad
someone.
he's dead, Evan. How about that?
Wow, ouch, too soon.
Yeah. it's
But
whatever.
still, that'd be like, you're the next Michael Jordan.
Pass
And
the
he's
ball,
like,
you
no,
pussy.
I'm Kobe Bryant. Like, that's awesome. That's what makes him him.
It depends on what she said.
Huh?
It depends on who she compared herself to.
She wasn't comparing herself.
I want to be the first. I want to be the first female Gandhi. Like, if it's something like that, like you're annoying.
I don't remember.
It depends
who
what it
said.
was.
I'll find the clip.
I
Evan,
don't. You've always had this like thing you don't like about it. I don't get it.
It's
And it's not
probably-
just you. It's not just you. People don't like her. And
It's-
I
There
don't
are a
get
lot
it.
of people that don't.
I don't get it.
I'm sure it has something to do with her politics. Like,
I
don't
can't
get me
pay attention
wrong.
to that.
I'm
I can't
sure.
pay attention
I know.
to that.
I know. I wish I did.
You know
at
my rule.
times. Yeah, I know.
I can't.
I wish I didn't at times.
You people, there's Matt. I love Matt Nathanson so much, but I can't pay attention to what he says when it comes to that shit.
Yeah.
If it's not about your songs, I'm not interested. And then it's probably shitty of me to do that, but I don't want to think about you differently. To me, you're that guy, and I want to love what you've created
Yeah.
and just go from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I get it.
Is
Is it me?
No.
Evan.
Evan's number
4.
4.
My number 4, I think, was said by both of you guys already. Season 1 Mando finale. Gideon just busting out of that
There it
TIE
is.
fighter with the Darksaber.
That high up for both.
Yeah, that's
of you
my
guys.
number
That was pretty
4
high for you
because
guys.
that's. I mean, his intro was like, okay, I really like this guy. I like his look. I like how intimidating he is. But then I'm like, he's got the freaking Darksaber. I was like, how'd he get that? I want to know more about him. I want to know. Just give me more him. Give me more Darksaber. And it was. We should have known. It was the first hint of anything can happen, and anything can happen now because of that
If
moment.
you can bring the Darksaber into live action, anything can happen.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
can go down.
Which I think will be on our list coming up.
Maybe.
Anything that can
Maybe
happen.
we'll see. My number
Yeah,
4
that could
is the
happen.
Boba Fett. Sorry. My number 4 is Boba Fett.
The Boba Fett.
The Boba Fett coming at like the Ohio State University.
Oh my gosh.
Boba Fett coming out of the Sarlacc pit.
Oh yeah. Oh, I almost
Straight
forgot
from
about
the
such
that.
filibuster.
a fucking cool
Yeah.
moment. And it's the patent. It's literally the thing he is. I think they did that. As
They
like
definitely.
They
They,
had
definitely.
to.
because that was like going viral for years before this was even a thing.
But how else were you going to bring Boba back?
I mean, it
Like,
has to be
that's
that.
perfect.
Yeah.
and it was
it's
perfect. It was
yeah.
perfect. So it was. That's just one of those things where you're like, seeing something like that come to life is cool. It's almost like seeing a character that I came up with being in a comic book later. But
That'll never
Ty
happen.
Barassi, you know what I guess.
Whoa.
That definitely happened.
We're on 3. My number 3 is the Darksaber's involved in a lot of this, but they're in the bridge of the cruiser, the Star Cruiser, after they've taken it over.
The Halcyon?
No. I wish.
The light cruiser.
Yeah, on the light cruiser, and then the doors open, and in walks Moff Gideon in handcuffs, and Mando's got the light.
Oh,
the,
how he's just
the dark
carrying it
saber
like-
ignited.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
then my favorite part, which makes my list, and I didn't get this made it high on my list because after I watched Clone Wars and Rebels, but Bo-Katan's reaction,
Her face.
her face,
Yeah.
she's like shit.
Yep.
Like,
Because she told him before the mission, she's like, Gideon is mine.
She told him twice.
Yep.
She's like, Gideon is mine. Where's Gideon? Yeah. She said it when
Yep.
in the bar, and then she said it in the cruiser again.
Yep.
So, she's setting up season 3 hot.
Yeah.
What's your number 3?
Number 3 for me is, I kind of cheated here, I feel like. I'm going to count the episode before the Jedi when we finally see Ahsoka, but the episode before we get the name drop of Ahsoka from Bo-Katan.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's when, like, Ahsoka's coming in this series too? Like, so that name drop is like, okay, yeah, that's happening. But then
yeah.
the episode called The Jedi is just, it's perfect. You
It's
get
almost
Ahsoka.
like those teases are even better than what you actually get.
Sometimes
Yeah,
You're
but
just like, what is
yeah.
happening?
Yeah.
That's why I think even myself included, was disappointed with the Boba Fett finale because
Yeah.
you kind of go like,
we thought something was
holy
going to happen.
shit,
We're all like, Kira's
anything
coming.
can happen.
Yeah.
And then like it's just
And then nothing
a wrap-up
happens,
of
really,
what was
but-
going down, and it's
Yeah.
like it's fine.
Yeah.
Would
Watch
it
it
have been
again.
cool to see?
I'm telling you, watch it again.
I will. I totally.
I haven't yet either. I
totally
need to
will.
watch it again too.
You'll like it better
I
because I was
like
just
it,
going
but I
like- I
think
was
it'll
ca-
be better.
because
Yeah.
there's no expectations.
It's like a
Yeah.
Saw
Yeah.
movie when you're watching it and you're like,
yeah.
something's gonna
Oh
flip,
yeah.
and then you're like, oh, I guess it just didn't.
It's like the first time I played Resident Evil and like Resident Evil 7. You're just like every fucking corner. You're like, Okay. I
Yeah,
can move.
and then it's like you're fine. It's
You're
such
fine.
a weird. It's hard to like describe the feeling
Yeah.
where like you're anticipating something major and it just never happens.
Yeah.
Number
All right,
3,
number 3.
a poop and a pee. You.
Oh, it's me now.
Yeah.
Luke training Grogu, and that scene
Beautiful.
was just perfect because like we have never seen in canon other than like flashbacks in a comic book Luke actually training somebody,
And it's not really even that much.
and it's just literally like a picture of him with some younglings,
And he's like
It's not
standing
even-
in the background, like,
Yeah,
arms
he's like,
crossed or
look what I have
something.
accomplished.
And I'm like, what?
In the
yeah.
Rise
The Rise
of
of
Kylo
Kylo
Ren.
Ren,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So you don't really get to see anything up until this point, and I think it's a really good way to appease the dummies who don't like Last Jedi, because you're going to get to see him kind of start second guessing himself,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think that's a very human thing to do, and I think it makes total sense for somebody who is trying to prevent the next space Hitler from coming into power.
Yep.
And never had an issue with Last Jedi. We know this, but I think that was a really cool scene to see.
Oh, yeah.
It's still canon,
Actually-
too, by the way.
Yep, and actually in like live
It
action.
is.
Yep.
In live action. You know, it was cool to see. It's one thing to get it in like an animated show or a comic book. It's one thing to have Luke on screen.
For real. All right, my number 2. Speaking of Luke, and this might be controversial, but last episode of Mandalorian Season 2, when he murks the Dark Troopers, comes and takes Grogu away, is my number 2.
That's perfect. That's my number 2 also.
Oh, shit.
That is also my number 2.
What?
No way.
This didn't
Are we
land
going to
on
have the same
one?
number 1? I
No,
think we might have
no.
the same number 1.
I don't think we're going to.
I think you and me might have
I
the same
think we
number
might.
one.
But okay, let's all just love the Season 2 finale of Mando here.
Like, hold on. No, like, I'm surprised out of the 3 of us, nobody had this as their first. I really am. This is funny.
See, I kind of
What
took
did you say? Because I
Do you want me to get into
Season
mine
two-
first?
say it.
his number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said Season 2 of Mando,
Yeah,
the finale.
Luke.
I was reading my number 1.
Oh,
that's-
spoiler alert.
Damn it. That was
Yeah,
my number 1.
We were on number
Okay.
2.
Sorry.
Oop.
God damn it. I
All right,
erased
well,
my number 2.
let's go ahead and talk about
Let's
how
talk about it, 'cause
awesome
it's
it
my
is
number
here.
1, so I'll just skip my number 1.
Yeah.
This is my number 1 because I mean, like, there's not a better Star Wars moment than this.
You can make that argument.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you really. Yeah.
I need to sit down and think about it for me.
If we did our
It's
top
telling you,
100, this might be number 1
Yes,
or 2.
it absolutely
It
will.
could be. Like, it could be.
There's only one moment I can think of for our top 100, and it's Empire Strikes Back. Luke, I'm your father.
Hold
Like,
it. Hold
that's-
it. Yeah.
Yeah, they could
Oh,
be
that,
that, too.
all right.
We'll,
Because,
we'll
but
get there
also,
one day.
but we can do our own. Like we can do 25.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
we don't have to have that conversation. But like
Yeah.
those 2 moments for me are like the epitome of what Star Wars is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what my number 2 was because I wrote it down. I erased it because I thought we were talking about number 1.
That's right. You can do your number 2 in a
God
second.
damn it! I don't remember what it was. I gotta
The
come
whole
up with
episode for me too. Like we finally get to see Gideon like wield the Darksaber, and he's actually putting up a decent fight against Din. Like for a little bit, he's kind of beaten Din, but
He was-
that's a great fight.
He was
between
wielding
them.
it better than Din when he was fighting
Yeah,
Pez.
yeah.
Vizsla.
He's probably had more time to practice with it, though. He's probably had it for 20 years, maybe
Yeah.
30 years at that point. But that fight was badass, and then Din versus the Dark Troopers is badass, and then Luke coming in is also awesome.
Yep.
it. 5 minutes.
We're almost done.
We're almost done.
So we
I
got
love
rest.
you.
All right.
Oh.
We were yelled at by Brad's son. So he came in here throwing feces. So it was good.
What are you guys?
All right. So I'll go with my number 1. And I've got to look at it because I typed this out.
I'll do my number 2 because
Okay,
my number 2 was Mando making the armor
Oh,
out of
yeah.
the
Oh,
sphere.
yeah.
The
Out of the Beskar spear.
the Beskar spear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the things that added to his outline where you knew it was Mando. Like when he comes into
Yeah.
season 6 or episode 6 of season 1 of Book of Boba Fett, and you see the sphere, there's no doubt. Like,
Yeah.
one thing that's like hard to do is make a silhouette iconic like that.
Right.
And with the spear, that definitely helped him.
Yeah.
So that was mine.
Because
And
most of the
breaking that down-
Mandalorians look alike.
and it
in
shows how
terms
much
of
he
spear.
means to him because that spear helped him a lot.
Yeah.
So like melding that down into Grogu's armor, which I think is going to play a part in something
Yep.
down the road.
Yeah.
There's no reason they did that. It made it such a huge point for them not to address that further.
Yeah. You won't
Yeah,
be-
my number 1 was Luke and Mando
All right.
season.
Fair enough.
All right.
Good-
So
good number one.
it landed as somebody's number 1. All
I
right.
can't. So what? I don't know what number 1 would be past that.
Okay. You won't be shocked when I tell you. You'll be like, all right,
BD1?
that makes sense for me. No, God, no.
That's not even honorable mention.
we don't
Wow.
we don't know if it's him. I don't.
Well,
It is.
Speaking of that logo, yeah.
If
that-
Rodian Radio can say that their own personal headcanon matters, then you could say it's BD1.
No, because
Believe
they
it
think
is
the
until
Last
you
Jedi
hear it's
sucked.
not.
I went off on them.
believe
know.
it is though until you hear it's not.
You're right.
But it's not officially 100% canon. But the Lego set for the N1 Starfighter comes with a BD Lego,
I see that.
but it's called BD Droid.
So
So it's not called BD1. it's not
Lego's
official.
Canon.
It's not official yet.
Lego
but
always leaks stuff though.
yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm
they
saying.
always fuck up and
spoil
release
and leak stuff. So.
They're the one that leaked the Slave 1 getting removed.
Yeah,
so.
fire
Yeah,
spray.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
All right,
it's
number
not
one.
BD1.
What you guys got?
My number one. Okay, when Ahsoka mentions Anakin 3 times.
Oh, god damn it, that's a good one.
I cannot train
Man.
him. His attachment to you makes him vulnerable to his fears, his anger. No, I've seen such feelings. I've seen what such feelings have done to a fully trained Jedi Knight.
Yep.
And then I'm an old friend of the family.
Mm.
And then of course, Luke. Sometimes I wonder if his heart is in it. So much like your father.
Yeah.
That is my number one.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's pretty close to my number one.
Come on,
But yeah,
yeah.
keep going.
so that's it. That's it.
That's it.
I've said on many episodes like how much I love those moments. So that's my
I get
number
it. That's
Yeah.
fair. That's
Yeah.
valid. It's good. That's a good one.
My number one is similar to that. It's chapter 6 of the Book of Boba Fett, season 1. I'm just gonna call it the big 3 of this universe. It has Mando, Ahsoka, and Luke in this one moment, basically all together. And we get all those mentions you just said of Anakin and Luke and friend of the family, and Grogu's there
one.
too.
Yeah.
You could extend it to Big 4. Put Grogu in as a part of the Big 4, but like those 4 characters are so essential to this
No Boba.
2 seasons of Mando. I don't think he's that essential, honestly, because like he's only around. Out of how many episodes do we have? Of these 3 seasons total here. 16, 23.
Boba?
We have 23 total.
No, dude, he's a big part. He saves Mando's ass a few times.
But is he as big as Luke? When I'm talking in terms
no
of
one is.
yeah,
Other than like Anakin and Obi-Wan.
yeah. So you could put him in
he's
there.
Definitely
The big 5 of this universe is Mando.
He's on the Mount Rushmore of this whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. But just that chapter 6 has all of it except Boba, but it's in Boba's series, so I think it counts and brings all of it in.
if you didn't get Boba
But-
Fett, you wouldn't have gotten this.
That's right.
That's true. That is
So-
so true.
So that is it, guys. Our first top 10 list of
Back.
the year.
Yeah,
It is.
Technically, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Because Book of Boba Fett started at the end of 2021.
I
Yeah.
want to do once we're done with Halcyon. I want to do our top 10 Halcyon moments.
Oh,
Ooh,
easily.
man.
It's gonna happen next week. I'm gonna think of something good for next week. Something we haven't even like.
Good.
Something we've never even like addressed. Like I want something wild. Let's do it. All right, let's wrap this
top
up.
10 Star
I got
Wars
burger
tips.
Smick. Let's do this.
Follow us at Jedi Talk Podcast anywhere you get your Instagrams, and not on Twitter. Fuck that. Yeah,
Run
pretty
Getter.
much Instagram. What? Ryan Getter.
We are, I mean, I'm not even. I like. I
What
don't
is
know.
that?
That's the right wing Twitter, bro.
That's a thing?
Brad's on Grinder.
That sounds
I
so
am on
fake.
Grinder. You can fuck my asshole at fuckmyasshole 69 420.
Yeah.
Brad, just
Sounds about right.
carry it out, and we'll
Thank
do
you guys
our
for listening to the episode. We'll see you in the next show. Till then, stay safe. May the force be with you.
Always.
thing. Rise, Jedi Knight.